Guys, welcome back to the channel. Obviously, you know who I am, and it is the time to do a touring car review of the weekend. Obviously, I did not go to Snetterton, unfortunately, but I do know the results anyway, and we can talk about it and what happened over the course of the race weekend. But if you're new around here, make sure you do like and subscribe for more content of the Btcc, and you get to see my lovely face here and there every time. Maybe you see it around paddock sometimes. If you do, come say hello. But anyway, let's get on to Snetterton race weekend, round 3 of the Btcc season. Start off with the Saturday, obviously free practice 1. The quickest was Dan Camish, second was Tom Ingram, third was Tom Chilton. Good result for Dan Camish to go quickest. Obviously free practice doesn't mean a lot at stake, not points, no qualifying results or anything like that. So nothing of major, but it's a good result nonetheless. Good qualifying pace was shown by Dan, it seemed like, but let's get into qualifying. So your pole man for the race to pole was Tom Chilton, followed by Charles Rainford. Third was Josh Cook. Fourth was Tom Ingram. Fifth was Dan Camish. Sixth was James Dornan. Seventh was Dan Rowbottom. Eighth was Ash Sutton. Ninth was Adam Morgan. And 10th was Darrell DeLeon. So good result for Tom Chilton to be on pole for the race to pole. Second was Charles Rainford, which is good to see a BMW back up there. Obviously, this circuit used to favourite the BMWs quite highly, especially with Colin Tarkington and some of the older drivers like Stephen Jelly and Tom Oliphant and stuff like that. But Josh Cook did well in the Corolla racing and the Toyota Corolla. Really great result for him to be third on the grid. Row 2 is a really good result for the race to pole. The Toyota's not going to be great around this circuit because how flat and how straight the circuits are. Normally with the hatchbacks, they're quicker in the corners, and then out of the corners they're a bit quicker. But when it comes to the straight, they haven't got the power. They haven't got the downforce like the other saloon cars on the grid. But let's mainly talk about the qualifying race because, well, that was a bit of controversy, so we'll get into that. So Charles Rainford with the win. Second was Josh Cook. Third was Tom Ingram. Fourth was Dan Camish. Fifth was Dan Rowbottom. Sixth was Darrell DeLeon. Seventh was Adam Morgan. Eighth was Tom Chilton. Ninth was James Dornan. And 10th was Sam Osborne. So what a result for Charles Rainford and West Surrey Racing to be on pole for the Sunday race. And yeah, so that was a bit controversial. I'll put a screenshot here of what you could see what happened between Chilton and Rainford. They were bouncing off each other coming into the first lap. Chilton pushed him wide first onto the grass, going into what's the corner called? Going into one of the corners, and then obviously Rainford pushed him back. If you guys have watched that, but in my opinion, being a spectator, I would say that was a racing incident because I mean Chilton pushed him first, then Rainford just pushed him back. I mean it's really hard to tell. So it was a racing incident from yesterday, and it's qualifying racing. It hasn't failed to disappoint yet, realistically, out of the whole we've seen. I mean, I'm still a bit funny about it, but nonetheless, it has proved to be a solid thing so far. There's been a lot of drama, a lot of controversy, and, well, Sutton just doesn't seem to get on well with it at all. Sutton, who was doing very well for a while, went over a bit of debris and caused himself to have a puncture, left front puncture, which veered him straight off, cut the final corner, and he went into the pits to change tyre. Went back out for another lap, and he just called it. He just went back to the pits and called the car. It's probably saved the car for the Sunday, which proved to be successfully well done and well fought from Ash Sutton himself. But he had a lot of work to do in race 1. Let's see what happened on that Sunday. As I predicted, Charles Rainford with the race win. What a result. Second was Tom Ingram. Third was Darrell DeLeon. Fourth was Josh Cook. Fifth was Dan Camish. Sixth was Dan Rowbottom. Seventh was Tom Chilton. Eighth was Ricky Collard. Ninth was James Dornan. And 10th was Ash Sutton. So Sutton did incredible in that one. One lap of hybrid, medium tyre, from 21st on the grid all the way to 10th. I mean, he was 11th. And then Sam Osborne got disqualified for over boosting. Unfortunately for Sam, that was really hard for him because he did do very well. The Sun just let him battle with James Dornan for the majority of it, but it was unfortunate he had the disqualification. But Sutton gained another place in that matter. But good result for Tom Ingram, good points all over Ash Sutton, really. Ingram needed that sort of, and a good result for the West Surrey boys. 1 and 3 is a good result for them. Obviously, it doesn't seem like they have a lot of sponsors on the car this year. It seems like they've struggled in that department. But with this result, it's going to get him more and more in that, and it's a brilliant result for Charles Rainford. I think Rainford is going to look like he's going to be in the title fight near the end of the season. If he can keep the momentum that he's been doing from the start, I think we could see him being in the mix between them boys. So, good result nonetheless. But on to race 2 of the day. Probably, as you can guess it, he started on soft tyres. He had full maximum boost accumulated to him. It's going to be Sutton with a win. Second was Ricky Collard. Third was Tom Chilton. Fourth was Dan Camish. Fifth was Adam Morgan. Sixth was Dan Rowbottom. Seventh was Gordon Shedden. Eighth was Charles Rainford. Ninth was Chris Smiley. And 10th was Dara De Leon. But what a result that is for Ash Sutton, taking a win. Well, he's had a good day so far. He finished 10th in the first race, and he came back with a win in the second race. Obviously, he had that full amount of hybrid at him, and his soft tyres. He's gonna just go through the pack like no tomorrow. Yeah, did near enough came across Tom Ingram. Tom Ingram did take the lead in this race for a while, but unfortunately, he had Sutton to deal with. But there was not much of a battle. So coming up to turn 2, going into the hairpin, Ingram locked up and went straight on, and Sutton had enough man. He just had the perfect line to go right, keep tight in the inside, and he went through. So Sutton went through, and then it just started going downhill for Tom Ingram from there. Tom Ingram then later on DNF'd from this race, pulling out onto the side of the circuit near Bumhole, and yeah, it was not the day for Tom Ingram. Let's just say that. So Tom Ingram will be signed last in the race 3 of the day. But good result for Sutton nonetheless, and a brilliant result for Ricky Collin and Tom Chilton, who have been tremendously well this race weekend, especially Tom Chilton. But very deserved from Ricky Collard to be a second. Him and Sutton, inseparable yet again. We're having flashbacks from Brands Hatch now. But anyway, this is obviously coming up to reverse grid. The ball that Sutton picked up was number 7, so that put Gordon Shedden on pole. Second was Darren Rowbottoms. Third was Adam Morgan. Fourth was Dan Camish. Third was Tom Chilton. Not third. Yeah. Fifth was Tom Chilton. Sixth was Ricky Collin. The 7th was Ash Sutton. So let's see what happened in race 3 of the day. The final one. The final race at Snetterton. A supreme drive by the 3-time British Touring Car Champion, a 54 race winner now, Gordon Shedden. He held off Sutton with all of his might, and it shows that he is a champion at best, and he is a multiple race winner. So Gordon Shedden takes race 3 with a fantastic result. Second was Ash Sutton. Third was Dara De Leon. Fourth was Chris Smiley. Fifth was Charles Rainford. Sixth was Adam Morgan. Seventh was Tom Chilton. Eighth was Tom Ingram. Ninth was Dan Camish. And 10th was Dan Rowbottom. So, on track, Ingram finished in third, but because of a penalty of multiple track limits, there is the post there. You can have a little read. You can pause the video and just have a little read. Of Tom Ingram, multiple going off the circuit, getting track limits. That gave him a 10-second time penalty, which dropped him all the way down into 8th. So it's a good result for Dara De Leon to get third. That was a fantastic result for him and West Surrey Racing. They've had a solid weekend with Charles Rainford finishing 5th. Really good weekend. When I was watching the screen, I was like, it's Chris Smiley's 4th. I couldn't believe it. Chris Smiley, P4. What a result for him and Restart Racing. That is an excellent result. But yet again, Ash Sutton is there in the mix once more. Second place from 7th on the grid. That is a fantastic result for him and Napa, and they have really bounced back from the qualifying race. So they've done really well. Gordon Shedden held him off of everything he had. But this is the championship standing as it stands. Ash Sutton on 174, followed by Ingram on 117. 57-point gap is the margin that Ingram needs to catch. Obviously, he's got Rainford lurking with 9 points behind. Anything can happen going into Oaton. Obviously, Oaton Park last year favoured him more of Tom Ingram's Hyundai. So who knows what's going to happen this year. It seems to be that Ford is becoming a bit of a problem for the Hyundais this time round. But who knows what's going to happen at Oaton Park this time round. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you keep an eye out for next Sunday's video. Obviously, I'm changing my schedules. Mondays will be touring car reviews or vlogs or anything like that. Thursdays will be the career mode, or I might put them on Sundays if there's no action. I know we got a break coming up of the touring cars where I will be uploading continuously with stuff to do with touring cars and stuff like that. Obviously, Sunday, gotta keep an eye out for that one because that is going to be mega. As yeah, it's magic. And yeah, keep an eye out for Thursday. Career mode's back, but with a new thing. As if you've seen on my channel, I've deleted the last two for for reasons. But I'll let Thursday explain that. But I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy. Goodbye.